UPND Cadres attack Patriotic Front Office. Celestin Mukandila breaks silence on Zambian political violence. Tonight, political tensions have once again exploded into the open. A dramatic statement from Celestin Mukandila alleges that UPND Cadres launched an attack on the PF Secretariat, raising questions about rising political intolerance ahead of the 2026 elections. What exactly happened? Who is responsible? And what does this incident reveal about Zambia's fragile political climate? Stay locked in, because the details you're about to hear paint a much bigger picture than just a single attack. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of the InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. We're coming to you at a crucial time in Zambian politics, as tensions between political parties reach what some are calling a dangerous tipping point. And today, we bring you a story that has sent shockwaves through the nation. Picture this. It's November 15th, 2025. The morning sun rises over Lusaka, casting long shadows across the Patriotic Front Secretariat. Inside, party officials are going about their regular business, strategizing for the upcoming 2026 elections. But within hours, the calm would be shattered. Chaos would descend. Violence would erupt. What happens when political rivalry crosses the line from democratic competition into outright assault? When does fierce opposition transform into physical violence? And what does it mean when the headquarters of a major political party becomes a battleground? Imagine cadres, allegedly from the ruling United Party for National Development, storming the opposition headquarters. Imagine fists flying, bodies being beaten, cars being smashed, property destroyed. Imagine the terror, the shock, the realization that democratic norms are crumbling before your very eyes. But here's the real question that keeps echoing through the corridors of Zambian politics. Was this a spontaneous eruption of anger, or was it coordinated? Were inflammatory statements by senior UPND officials the spark that lit this powder keg? And most disturbingly, in a country preparing for elections in just months, what does this violence portend for Zambia's democratic future? Who will be held accountable? Will the police act without fear or favor, as they're mandated to do? Or will this become yet another incident swept under the rug, another warning sign ignored until it's too late? The revelation came to light on the afternoon of November 15, 2025, when Celestin Mukandila, a member of the Patriotic Front Central Committee and National Youth Chairman of the Tons Alliance, issued a powerful statement that would dominate Zambian headlines. According to Mukandila's account, alleged UPND cadres launched a violent assault on the Patriotic Front Secretariat in Lusaka. The attack reportedly resulted in multiple injuries, with party members being physically beaten. Witnesses described scenes of chaos as vehicles were smashed and extensive property damage occurred throughout the premises. But to understand how we arrived at this flashpoint, we must step back several days. The incident didn't occur in a vacuum. It came on the heels of rising political tensions following the Chingola incident on November 9th, where President Hakainde Hichilema's motorcade was attacked with stones during a visit to victims of the Chiwempela market fire. That Chingola attack had triggered strong reactions from UPND officials. Lusaka Province UPND Chairman Obvious Mwalateta had issued statements condemning the assault on the president, calling for treason charges against those responsible. In another press conference, Mwalateta went further, suggesting that the UPND might deploy its own security personnel to protect the president, questioning police effectiveness. Similarly, Bwingwa Member of Parliament Kasata Muchalo had also been vocal in the aftermath of the Chingola incident. Both official statements, according to the PF, contained language that could be interpreted as inciting violence. The context is crucial here. Zambia's political landscape in late 2025 is already volatile. The Patriotic Front itself is deeply fractured, with competing factions battling for control ahead of their planned convention on November 29th. Internal disputes over leadership, court injunctions, and accusations of manipulation have left the party vulnerable and divided. Against this backdrop of political instability, energy crisis, and pre-election tensions, the attack on the PF Secretariat occurred, marking what many observers fear could be a dangerous escalation in Zambian political violence. Celestin Mukandila's statement, issued on November 15, 2025, pulled no punches. Speaking in his capacity as both a PF Central Committee member and Tons Alliance National Youth Chairman, he declared, "I condemn, in the strongest terms, the violent attack on the Patriotic Front Secretariat allegedly carried out by UPND Cadres. Such conduct is unacceptable in a democracy and poses a direct threat to peace, order, and the safety of our citizens. He continued with a direct appeal to law enforcement. I call upon the Zambia Police Service to take immediate and meaningful action, including effecting arrests and ensuring that all those involved are brought to justice. Mukandila didn't stop at general condemnation. He made his expectations crystal clear. The nation is fully aware of the public statements that preceded these attacks, and law enforcement must act without fear or favor. Perhaps most significantly, Mukandila expanded the scope of accountability beyond the alleged attackers themselves. He stated, "I further call upon the police to take decisive action regarding today's events, including investigating the roles of the Lusaka Province UPND Chairman Mr. Obvious Mwaluteta and the Bwingwa Member of Parliament Mr. Kasata Muchalo, so that the law may take its full course because they are recently on record issuing statements that incite violence." The PF official went beyond the immediate incident to frame it in broader democratic terms. This violence is not only an attack on the PF but an attack on the Zambian people's right to political participation, safety, and freedom of association. Mukandila concluded with what many interpreted as both a commitment and a warning. As a party, the Patriotic Front remains committed to peace, democracy, and issue-based politics. Violence has no place in our country. Zambia is bigger than any political party, and those in leadership must never take the Zambian people for granted. Meanwhile, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, speaking to the developing situation, provided additional context about the pattern of violence. In a statement about the broader political climate, he referenced academic Dr. Sishiwa's warnings about state house strategies and noted the Chingola and Kitwe market fires, before adding, "Today, UPND Cadres invaded the PF Secretariat and beat up people, resulting in major injuries. They smashed cars and caused huge damage to property." It's worth noting that as of the time of these statements, there has been no official confirmation from the Zambia Police Service regarding the assault, no statement from the UPND party, and no arrests announced in connection with the incident. The attack on the Patriotic Front Secretariat raises profound questions about the state of Zambian democracy as the country approaches its 2026 elections. First, there's the question of political rhetoric and its consequences. In the days following the Chingola incident, where President Hichilema's motorcade was stoned, several UPND officials made strong statements. Obvious Mwaluteta, for instance, described the Chingola attack as a deliberate and politically motivated assassination attempt, and called for treason charges. He also controversially suggested that we may consider deploying our own security to some functions to protect HH, raising concerns about the blurring of lines between state security and party structures. Political analyst Antonio Mwanza had warned about exactly this kind of escalation in his statement on responsible leadership. What we have witnessed since then is deeply troubling. Senior UPND officials have issued statements threatening violence. We even heard Mr. Mwaluteta threatening to mobilize 15,000 cadres in 15 buses. This is not leadership. This is lawlessness. The PF's allegation is that such rhetoric created an environment where violence became inevitable. But is there a direct causal link between political statements and physical attacks? That's precisely what the police investigation, if conducted thoroughly, would need to determine. Second, there's the institutional question. Mukandila's repeated emphasis that police must act without fear or favor reflects a deeper concern about law enforcement's independence. In many African democracies, the impartiality of security forces during politically charged periods becomes a critical test of democratic health. Third, we must consider timing. This violence occurs as the PF itself is internally fractured, with competing factions led by Given Labinda and Robert Shabinga battling for control. An attack on the party headquarters at this moment of vulnerability raises questions. Is this simply political rivalry spilling over, or is there a more calculated strategy to further destabilize the opposition? From a legal perspective, the allegations are serious. If UPND cadres can be identified and linked to the attack, they face potential criminal charges for assault, destruction of property, and possibly political violence. If senior official statements can be proven to have incited such violence, they too could face legal consequences under Zambian law. But there's a crucial caveat that cannot be ignored. As of this writing, no official police report has confirmed the details of the attack, the extent of injuries, or the identity of the attackers. The UPND has not issued any statement addressing these allegations. This absence of official confirmation leaves many questions unanswered. The broader systemic concern is about electoral violence. Zambia has historically prided itself on relatively peaceful transfers of power. The 2021 election saw Edgar Lungu accept defeat and allow Hakainde Hichilema to take office peacefully. But with the 2026 elections approaching and political temperatures rising, incidents like this threaten that tradition. Regional observers are watching closely. Political violence in pre-election periods has destabilized other African nations. The question for Zambia is whether this incident represents an isolated eruption or the beginning of a dangerous trend. The silence from certain quarters is also telling. Where are the voices of civil society? What is the position of religious leaders, who have historically played mediating roles in Zambian politics? And perhaps most importantly, what is the international community's assessment of Zambia's democratic trajectory? Thank you for watching this edition of InspirAfrica Official. We've brought you the story of the alleged attack on the Patriotic Front Secretariat, the strong statement from Celestin Mukandila, and the broader questions this incident raises about Zambian democracy. These are critical times for Zambia. With elections approaching in 2026, the choices made now by political leaders, law enforcement, and citizens will shape not just the electoral outcome, but the very nature of Zambian democracy for years to come. We want to hear from you. What do you think about this incident? Should senior political officials face consequences if their rhetoric leads to violence? How can Zambia ensure peaceful elections in 2026? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a respectful, thoughtful conversation about the future of our democracy. We'll continue following this story as it develops. When police make announcements, when official investigations conclude, when more facts come to light, we'll be here to bring them to you. Stay informed. Stay engaged. Stay committed to peace and democracy. This is Nakash, and I'll see you tomorrow with more news, more analysis, and more of the stories that matter to Africa. Until then, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other.